Hello everyone, my name is Isa and I'll be with you in the session of today. And I'd like to start it with this question asking you if you think that teleworking, working from home, is taking its toll on our mental health. And if you think so, we'll try to come up with some strategies today in order to help you to cope with it. So firstly, I'd like to for you to prioritize your well-being because I think that's vital and to think about ways to support our mental health. Because we have to reflect on how challenging this situation can be. So working from home as it's like something quite new for most of us and this fact, for some of us, may be missing the relationship value and even the physical elements of going to work. So that's that transition of leaving home and going to work. For me, for example, that's my get into work mode. So if you're working from home, it can be quite challenging to think how you get yourself to work ready, let's say. So for example, what I like to do is, so I usually like to prepare all my face-to-face to meet my virtual meetings early in the morning. And that way it makes me get up, get out of bed, get dressed, put makeup on, and I'm ready for the day. And if you're someone who likes that transition as well, it may be that you decide to take a part of your hour exercise in the morning and physically go for a walk and then come back into your workspace. That can be really helpful. And it's also important to recognize that not all models suits everybody. So I think it's really important to reflect on this. And in order to do so, I would like you to do an activity right now with me. I would ask you to think about what is your burning issue. So think about what should be your burning issue and write it down, and we will review it at the end of all the sessions. And I'm hoping that we will connect with that need and give you some strategies around that. So please write down your goals right now, and hopefully we'll cover that within all the sessions. So one of the common problems with working from home can be sleeping problems. So the struggle of going to sleep can be really challenging. It happens that you find yourself in the nights when you are going to bed, that's when all your creativity channels open up. So when you go to bed, you want to get the quality sleeps, night sleeps, and then all of a sudden your brain opens up and you're ready to start working again, so to start thinking of the most amazing projects that can be delivered to people. And I'm going to give you some simple tips throughout these sessions to think to get yourself ready for quality sleep, because we all need on average a minimum of 7 hours sleep, and if we do not get quality sleep, we are not ready for the next day. So I think it's pretty vital to connect with that. So I'm just going to pop us over another slide that's talking about prioritizing well-being. So before we spoke about missing the transitions to work, and I think it's really important to have that space to be ready for work. You may be someone who was traveling and for many hours to get to and from work, so you may be benefiting from actually not happening that traveling time, and that's a part of a collateral of time for you. So I would like to ask you: are you using that time effectively? What are you doing in the hour that you'll be traveling to work? That's what I would like you to think about, because I think that that'd be a really good time for you to connect with some leisure time, as I said before. So, like, you could either take your exercise, it can be broken up into smaller chunks, whatever you feel like. And We were talking about well-being. So, what does optimal well-being mean to you? So, when we talk about optimal well-being, well-being and mental health is in a continuum, and we can fluctuate from one space to another. Some of us may be feeling flourish at times and then really depleted at other times. And I think the key message I want you to take from here is that all feelings are completely okay. All feelings are all right. So I'd like you to try something right now. If you were to rate your well being on a scale 1 to 10, 1 being you are having the most challenging day and you're struggling emotionally and physically, and 10 being you are having the best day of your life and you are really energized and you are flourishing, connect with that number and ask yourself this: what would you need for your well-being not to go up? So if you were rating yourself as a 7, what would you need for it to be an 8? And please write it down, what you think, and what you think that answer may be, and keep it with you until the end of our sessions. So, over time, as I said before, our well being fluctuated from being really positive to being really negative and also really stable. And our feelings, as I said, are okay. We're still getting used to work from home, and we should use this space as a time to have the ability to think and feel and also connect with our feelings and ask ourselves, what can we do? So I'm just going to take you over now to another slide, and this is called the well-being charges and drainers. So I'd like you to think of well-being as simply as we focus on looking after our technology, let's say. So we do not let our phone go flat. We are always aware when we're running on empty and when we need to plug our phones in. But what we're not so good at is doing that for our well-being, let's say. I think that's more important than ever, that we need to top up our well-being cup. And there are four elements to all be answers. So first one, as you can see here, it's our physical well-being. Then we have our emotional well-being, social spiritual well-being, and mental well-being. And it's also vital to recognize when we are running on empty, when we need to plug ourselves in. So, using the analogy of the battery on our phones that drains and then we need to recharge is how I'll let you to think about the aspects of well being. So often we're aware when our phones are on red, but we are not so clever at knowing when we are depleted. And I think it's important to understand that when we are working from home, we don't have that transition of being in work mood and being in leisure mood. So I do think it's vital to think about ways to support our well-being in that sense. And most importantly, the battery that depletes the quickest is the spiritual and social battery. And the reason why is that if you are with someone who like connecting with people and you like to know what your purpose and worth is, and where you're heading to, when you're not having the physical connections, it can be really challenging to understand the purpose of what you're doing at the moment. So if you are someone working from home, you may not have that instant feedback, and you might not have the emotional class to know whether you are on the right page in terms of for your tasks. So I think it's really vital to find creative ways to top up this battery. Thank you for being with me today, and in the next sessions, we'll cover more of the strategies in order to cope with smart working, teleworking from home, and to keep ourselves healthy. Thank you.